Welcome to Toffee Blue Review, your source for all things Everton. I'm Gerry, there's Edward, and somewhere in this region up here is Max. Alright? Important topic. We thought that we would forego the news today and discuss an individual at the club who has been brought on as interim manager and has restored a sense of, Evertonian-esque belief a bit. I don't know. There's a certain attitude that feels a little bit more like the club. It seems like there's a little bit more positivity when you check out pictures at practice. You see smiles. You hear stories about there being smiles and laughing in the lunchroom. However, we're still not getting the results, all right, that we want. So it's about time. We've had a few games under him, so now let's talk. We need to talk about Unsworth. Okay? So, gents, let's get started with this. Let's just what do we think are the improvements so far under Unsworth? All right, Edward, do you want to get this started off?
We put Everton. That's definite. You can see straight away. We put a lot more effort in than we did under Coleman. All right, maybe at the start of the season, but then you could tell that the players didn't know what to play with him. Unsworth, it seems like he's brought in a bit of a breath of fresh air. We've got more effort coming into the games.
Okay, Max.
I think defensively, we are. I say a lot more solid, even though we conceded 3 in our last game. But I think defensively we are a lot better because when we haven't got the ball, there's a clear distinction between the midfield and the defence. Players aren't getting caught out of positions as often as they were under Koeman. I think the fullbacks have seemed to take on a lot more defensive responsibility. I feel that there is a lack of attacking quality in our squad. So, with that being the case, I feel as Edward said, double the effort needs to be put in, which I do feel is happening.
I see exactly what you guys are saying. I think Edward mentioned effort. You mentioned organization, defensive organization primarily, because that's a good first place to start, right? That's where you usually hear that these relegation specialists like Allardyce, they come in and the first thing they do is they try to shore up the defense. They try to organize it and get their defensive tactics straight. So, and I will just reiterate the rapport. It seems like the players like Unsworth, not too much where they're going to walk all over him, but it does seem like it's nice to have
They respect him.
Yeah, it seems like it's nice to have a human manager, you know?
But okay, it wasn't great.
Yeah, old Koeman, yeah. Really thought that was going to work out too.
He's one of the first words on my predictive text. Whenever I put in type on the keyboard, Coleman's always the first word that pops up.
Aw. I'm not sure how if that's sad or not, Edward. I kid.
Maybe the amount of angry rants I've said about him. That might be it.
So we have noticed improvement. So let's talk weaknesses about what Unsworth's teams are showing so far. Keep in mind he hasn't had a lot of training sessions. So let's talk what the squad's weaknesses are to this point. Max?
As I've said, there's no real attacking quality in our team. We've got no out and out number 9. We've got Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who in an ideal world wouldn't be starting for Everton Football Club. We've got Sandro, who I'm seeing reports of is looking at leaving, which I think is
hope not.
Really. Yeah, I think it's fair to say he hasn't had a fair crack of the whip yet.
He hasn't
played enough. But again, even if we do play Sandro, I feel like he'd benefit a lot from having another man up front with him.
Totally agree.
Or maybe, as you say, Gerry, in the January, I think major improvements need to be made up front to maybe get a bigger number 9 up with Sandro, and maybe that will change our situation.
Agree. Edward?
I mean, you're looking at the weaknesses, and it's basically the exact same as what we had at the start of the season. You know, we've got no, like Max is saying, we've got no attacking forwards. No one had the balls to get forward with the ball. That's basically our problem at the minute. We've got no balls to get forward. You know, everyone thinks the safer option, you know, to pass it backwards or sideways to make sure that the opponent doesn't get the ball just never works. And I can remember a Nike advert where they say about football, there's no greater danger than playing it safe, and that's proven time and time again for us this season.
Yeah. Attacking intent is pretty bad. Our mentality is still not improved, but I mean that kind of thing is not going to be improved immediately. I think he hasn't had time to get to figure out the proper formation. I don't think he knows how to use Sigurdsson yet. You know, I don't like using this squad as an example, but the other lot, the red people, they tend to play a 4-3-3 often. Okay, and many times in that middle three, when he's healthy, they'll throw Lallana in there. Okay, energy, but he's more of an offensive player, isn't he? You know, I think
good shifting. He does put a good shift in, and he's great. What I think Lallana's really good at is that the transition from winning the ball back to going on the front foot.
Right.
Which as I say, with the exception of Ross Barkley, who's yet to come back, we do not have.
Right. I mean, so if a lot of these other teams, we watch them play, if they can pull off throwing sort of a more offensive player in that middle three, who's to say we can't throw Sigurdsson in there and actually use him, you know, maybe a little farther forward than Gay or Boningimi or Davies or whoever, or Schneiderlin, or whoever else plays these two, you know? Throw Sigurdsson kind of a little bit more farther forward, and then we can throw DCL, Sandro, Lookman, Morales. We can throw speed, pure speed, someone fast in the center, but also on the wings. Lookman, after yesterday, I feel like has proven, you were talking about someone who wants the balls to go forward, Mola. That guy has no problem taking a man on. He's not afraid. So how many times do we see in our matches where someone starts a run up and then they see somebody in front of them and they just sort of stop, turn around, play it backward? I hate it. I know they're trying to just be safe and maintain possession, but Ademola Lookman is like, I don't care. I will go around you and move to the center.
Something I like. Obviously, a lot of interview, like whenever I've seen an interview with a player, particularly like the Soccer AM ones where they ask, you know, funny questions or whatever. I think the last one I watched was with DCL, and one of the questions he got asked is, who's the Nutmeg King? And he said, Lookman. So, and you even see in the game, Lookman, he always tries, you know, that little touch that might beat the man. Most of the time it doesn't come off. But it's nice to see. It is nice to see a player, especially so young, without that fear.
Yeah. So we've seen improvements. We still see a lot of weaknesses. We've mentioned the organization seems stronger. The mentality is still weak. So are the improvements enough to justify giving Unsworth a little more sustained run as manager?
I think the next game is going to be the big one. Because we've had 3 really tough fixtures at home away from home. I'll start that bit again. We've had 3 really tough fixtures that are away from home. Chelsea is always going to be a big one. We haven't won there for ages. Lyon away when the pressure's really on us is a big one. And Leicester, new manager, a bit of an iffy team for us to go against. So this one against Watford, who aren't the best of teams, will have a good run of form. and it's at home in front of the Goodison crowd, that is going to be the time for David Unsworth to prove himself with the squad. Because otherwise, they've got a big international break where they can decide, okay, we want you. We're going to try and get them in.
I feel like you say, I feel Unsworth needs to show some balls for this Watford game. I feel like he should put Tom Davies in the team, because with Tom Davies, he's a very versatile player. As you seen against Bournemouth, when he came on against Bournemouth, that ball for Nias, outside of the foot, split their defence in half. Mm-hmm. So I think I really do hope Unsworth speaks to Tom and says, I want you to play against Watford in a more advanced role, because I think, as you say, even with playing Gylfi as a more advanced player in the midfield, if he doesn't want to do that, I feel like Tom would be
definitely
the alternative.
Totally agree with that. We've asked whether or not the improvements from Unsworth are enough. Let's say things go. Let's say we get a 0-0, 0-0 draw this weekend with Watford. All right. At that point, after that, it's not stellar, but it's a point, right? Do you prefer Unsworth to Allardyce or Deitch?
Yeah, I do, because I think with Big Sam and with Deitch, your club will automatically be labelled. I feel it's unfair on them to say tarnished with a reputation, but I think your club automatically gets you are a club that is being managed by Big Sam, and I don't think, if you want to show ambition as a club, I don't think you want that.
That as well with Sam Allardyce coming in, that automatically puts us in the we've given up on everything, we just need to get out of where we are. Yeah.
So essentially, I mean, you guys would say, well, here's another question, because I've seen on Twitter people saying our new appointment should be for the next 3 years, not for this year. Okay, does that option exist at this moment?
I don't think that option exists in football, especially in the modern day. I think you see Everton at the peak of the capabilities, going off our last best season. I think the first season under Martinez, obviously we've lost key players in that squad, but you still feel, given the right kick up the arse, that the squad could possibly achieve something, whether that be a cup or pushing up the table. But I think we need to just do what's best for the club, and if that means getting a manager out after a year rather than 3, then so be it.
See, the whole thing I think about this, contracts, no matter if it's player or manager, mean jack in today. Like, they just don't mean anything in today's football, because a player will sign a 5 million. Sorry, no, not 5 million. A player will sign a 5-year contract, and they'll be like, "Oh, I'm going to stay with the club for ages and ages," but it means nothing. It just adds a bit of an extra zero onto the price tag, and it's the same with managers. And we've actually proven, clubs are willing to pay the release clause to get the managers to their club. So contracts at the end of it just mean nothing. Koeman was meant to be in for 3 years. He's only stayed in for a year and a bit. And it looked like he was going to be leaving after a year. So it means nothing in today's world, this whole 3-year deal, 4-year deal, and all of
that. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to partially agree with you guys and say that I would prefer Unsworth to Allardyce. Because I think Allardyce needs to come to the U.S. national team and coach them, because we have no center back play whatsoever. It's like we just need a thorough defensive tweak, and I think Allardyce could do that. That's selfish on my part, but also exactly what you guys said, though. it's almost like saying we are giving up on progressing, and it's a mindset thing. Like, we're only going for 40 points this season. 40 points, and then we move on to our real manager, whoever that would be. You know? But honestly, why do I see Sean Dyche in a different light? Maybe it's because he stayed at Burnley for a while and he's developed a culture there.
Burnley are playing better football this season.
Yeah.
I think if you look at the goal Burnley scored against us this season, granted we were all over the place.
We looked bad.
I think it's good football. So I can understand why you think Dyche in it. It's like a good camp.
Right.
But not my cup of tea.
I know. It's not most people's cup of tea. Most Evertonians are kind of like, but he's boring.
I personally wouldn't mind
you
him.
know? Yeah?
I personally wouldn't. I mean, he's good, obviously enough for Burnley to keep hold of him for about 5 years.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't mind him. I'd prefer better. I would prefer others, but if it came down to him or Allardyce, I'd rather have him.
Agreed.
That's
what
for
I
sure.
think. Yeah. All right. So any other last bits on Unsworth, guys?
I'll let you go first, Max, if you've got any.
Christmas period is massive, and I think that needs to be emphasised. A lot of games coming thick and fast, and points need to be picked up quickly, because we can't be coming out of this Christmas period still in a relegation battle. We need to get well away from potential relegation fight later on in the season. So whether Mashiri and the board are going to get one in before the Christmas fixtures, or they're going to stick it out with Unsworth, remains to be seen. But as I say, this Christmas period is huge for the club.
Okay, I'm going to put in a little thing. If Unsworth stays on as permanent, or he does enough to get permanent, or we reach the top 4, I will upload every single day on my channel for 365 days.
Okay.
There you go. You've heard it here first. If we get top 4, or if Unsworth stays in and does a good enough job to be permanent manager, I will upload every day for 365 days.
You heard it here first. Edward laying down bold claims. I'll lay one down too. All right? If in the middle of our next match, a mole person digs out from under midfield, snatches the ball, takes it back underneath, and burrows it all back underground, all the way to America, and gives it to me, I will cut the ball open and wear it as a hat. Deal? Because I don't think there's any chance of us getting top 4.
Well, you never know. Stranger things have happened.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Okay.
That's something I'm going to put down. You've heard it here first.
All right. I've got nothing else. So let's. If you are enjoying the videos, bless you, because it's such a tough time to start an Everton fan channel these days. Thank you for watching. You're wonderful. We genuinely love you. Subscribe to our channel, please. Leave comments, because we want to see what your name is, and we want to see what your speech pattern is like. You know, like our videos. You know, all that stuff. So also check out Edward's YouTube channel. He might be uploading a video every day if Everton somehow become a new team overnight. All right? Also, please check out Max's articles on the Toffee Blues website. He writes them often, and they're just lovely. So, everyone, thank you so much. We're going to go make another video. Bye.
Adios.